Well, no, it's not. It's not a feeling. It's an outright fact. Like my my mother, my sister, my father, and my the son becoming the father sort of thing. Um, because my father's a complete bloody douchebag. Um, yeah, and that's it. All I would have needed was, sort of like my father, Senator Keary or something like that. Just mention a name. And it's like, my sister and my father are gonna be coming home for a family meeting to try to figure out how the fuck go. It's a little more unorthodox. You see, my father takes assimilation very seriously. He wishes for my family to be quintessentially I'm gonna say that you're a baby time and time again, because he fucking dropped it. That's my father. That's fuck it. Ian Duncan's face scares me a damn sight more than my father ever will. Osborn goes, "Oh my god, you're Spider-Man. You killed my father. Prepare to die." I like the character development. I like this incredibly predictable, overblown assault. And that's what my father does. And the moment I saw that, and I can't become that. I can't become my father. I won't let that happen. I did everything I could, and then my father was just like, "Yeah, but I don't care, so I'm not gonna bother trying to." Ah, you're showing backbone. Get the fuck back down. I do what my father does. Oh my god, I need to be evicted. Come here and meet you, my father, and the Emperor. I just do fuck all. Just sit here and let this happen. In other countries, my father's just off with his own sort of extended family, and one treason! An assassin has wounded my father, the king. To bring order back to the kingdom, he has sent my sibling. Always fucking feared I could be without realizing. I've become my father. I have become...
Be careful. Aren't the Greybeards expecting some... Hello, my friend. What can I do for you on such a fine day? My father taught me an important lesson many years ago.
Caretaker. I believe once it's interred with my father's remains, I'll be at peace with his memory.
And I've got my father there. It's a fucking living example of the dangers of... for the longest time against immigration until she saw BBC documentaries about it. And my father is sort of a die-hard need of morality, and so it's just fucking disappointing to see this man, to see my father, to see this guy I played.
My father's lab, through the old canals.
Okay, quit. This is it. Done. See ya. That's him. That's him. That's my father. Knows. And because that's all he did, I have become my father. Because... Yet I hate it. I hate the fact the way I look at my friends, my mother, my father, my sister, my brother. I ask the crotchety landlord, my father, if we have any more lights, and he warns me, hey, be careful. Accurate, logically flawed thing to do. And it doesn't sound like my father. Also, there are certain inaccuracies. I should have allowed my father to die. Oh, and now. But I explained to someone my situation with my father, with essentially the shit that I am in. And I am my father's son. And I don't notice when my voice is going up in volume. In these torpedoes, so fuck it, if you won't do this, I'll retire. And Kirk's just like, my father figure is dead. I am my father's son. And I don't notice when my voice is going up in volume. Never stopped baby talking, and my father is basically an angry, violent arsehole who I decided pretty quickly I never went. But then I remembered that quest we couldn't get.
He's a stupid. I help my father in more
Do you work the
ways
forge all day?
that I do.
I am my father's son. I have always had anger issues. I share a case. I know who I'll become if I go bad. I'll become my father. I'll become the one man who genuinely came home from Nine Worlds Geek Fest and essentially scared the shit out of my father. And how, essentially, as far as Mum is concerned, difficult. Because basically, I got my anger management issues from my father. And I got my...
I'm Alex Vance. My father worked with you back in Black Mesa. I'm sure you don't remember.
Of a gun. Well, so are so many other people I know. In the last 3 years, my father lost everything and is desperately trying to start his life. Because you can't really have a full turkey when it's two of you. Because my father and sister are fucking off to somewhere else. This ridiculous grandstanding, you know, my father saying that, oh, you're showing backbone, get the fuck back down. You know, I do what my father does, oh my god, I need to be evicted. Of course. My mother, my father, my sister, my employment advisor have all said, yeah.
It's a surprise. I don't even know if he'll accept it, but... Listen, could you take the sword to my father, Proventus Avenici? He's the...
Rock fucking bottom. And having my father scream at me, quite coincidentally, about how much of a fucking baby I am, because... Thing circulating that seems to be from the Facebook of my father, or at least that's what it claims to be, and it essentially, you know, the BBC were my mother and my father, in the kind of sense that, you know, the BBC fucking raised me. They taught me today. And it wasn't sharks. It wasn't monsters. It wasn't my father. You know what it was? I'm trying to say, which is that, yeah, I grew up with a man as my father who genuinely and I've got my father there as a fucking living example of the dangers of, I'm trying to say, which is that, yeah, I grew up with a man as my father who genuinely myself. It is best to remain neutral and see if I can't keep my father alive and my society stable. Merle nodded, saying that I know well because I've made it against my father many times. And that is not a look of fear. That look is not something I ever want to be space. there is going to be space and a locked door between me and my father, and that's good. To deal with, you know, the internet bills. Whereas here, in this house, because my father's living here, all of those things are...
Look, I didn't ask for this job. I got stuck with it thanks to my father.
How's your father?
My father was a priest of Archay. All my life was spent...
Decided to dance with me. David nodded. I did it despite my father at first, playing with the great leader's food. Sammy